So hi everybody, we are nearly there with the finishing of this nice model from Tamiya. This was the originally the Tamiya GT Junior Alfa Romeo reissued in 2024, and I decided to modify it in the GTAm version. You know, it was the 2000 GTAm, it was the biggest version of the Alfa GTA, and originally this kit was provided already with enlarged wheel arch from Gunze Sangyo, but the model for me was absolutely not nice like details and so on. It was very simple model coming from, I think, from the 80s or the 90s, you know, and mostly all the front end of the front four lights was absolutely messed up, so it didn't resemble completely the real look that I would like to give to this model. So I started from the Alpha GT Junior from Tamiya. That was the smaller version, you know, the 1.3 and 1.6 liter, you know, engine, and with just two front light in different positions that were a little more central, with the side arrow that was mounted here. Instead, in this version goes under, so it's all the front end have to be completely modified, as well as the scalino in name part over here have to be modified and fulfilled up, because the 2000 version, the biggest version, didn't have this this part going down. Is a typical part that if you look a little the picture you will understand it was. I was trying to copy mostly the Alfaholic look. Alfaholic is the British producer of kind of replicas based on historical Alfa, but completely modern car. They are dream cars, you know, and nearly always they have this look of enlarged, powerful, nearly racing cars. You know, is a exclusive production like Singer can be about Porsches. You know, it is on the same level. And for this model I used the mini lite, the maxi lite, sorry, wheels produced by uscp, the guy from Ukraine that makes these very nice wheels, despite they don't provide inside the tire for this model, you know. And the tire, if you want to go with the ordinary tire of the kit, don't fit at all. Tamiya provides these wheels inside their model that is absolutely stunning and very well done. Also the tire is very well done. The rim is absolutely matching the Alfa Romeo rim of the 70s, and I remember that my dad had an Alfetta type, so it was similar to this one, but for families, you know, it was the sedan version, not the coupe. And she had exactly this type of wheels, which I really remember at the time. They were huge. At the time, we're talking of the early 80s, they mounted a 205 tire that for the time was looking like a wheel coming from a Porsche. For those wheels I used the Lamborghini LP 400 tires from Fujimi, which are a little undersized in the original kit, and I think on this model they fit perfectly to my one. And one of the part that you have to be extremely careful with about the stance of the finished look of the model, you know. So the ride 8 of the model have to be in a proper way. I try to show you what I mean. I think this is the correct one, despite I still miss the rear exhaust on the model. For the livery of this model I used a scrap decal sheet coming from the 1993 Alfa Romeo 155 V60E, the red Alpha from GTAm reissued by Tamiya. That was at the time when I had an original model where nearly all the decal were completely damaged and destroyed, and for this purpose I used the TS15 from Tamiya as a protective layer over the decal sheet. Which you can also try, but my tip is always to make some tests before, because the TS15 is a synthetic gloss that protect the decal and allow you to avoid the problem of the explosion, basically, of the decal when you place that in the water when they are too old and completely crap. It is something that I should write under, do not try this at home, because it's 90% the possibility that you will destroy everything of a decal sheet. But in my point, that the decal sheet was already something that I wanted to trash. It was just lucky that it lasted quite well with this procedure with the TS15, and I could anyway use it, and I think it resembled very well the livery of that car, and it's showing up the typical logos of Alfa Corse. So I took the Alfa Corse logo, that was the one used in the front bonnet, and the one on the tail was the one on the side of the Alfa 155. So Number 7 should be Nannini car. I don't remember honestly because I didn't place it, of course, the name of the pilot, and because the car just copied the livery of such vehicles of the 90s, you know. In my idea, it's of course a fantasy car. It's something that never exists, but it can be a what if. Probably one of the hardest work that I had to do, excluding the enlargement of the side of the vehicle and the rebuilding of all the front end, was basically to recreate completely the interior of the car, which I added a fire extinguisher inside. I hope that you can see from the reflex of the camera. There is down there a fire extinguisher and a Recaro racing seat, plus a full roll cage for racing purpose. You know, this is in the meaning of something prepared for racing. And of course, for this idea, I had completed to strip it down the interior and recreate at least the structure of the metallic steel bars that they have inside in the mold of the inner chassis of the vehicle that are not present in Tamiya kit, because Tamiya just provided the ordinary street interiors that are down there. You see the back sofa and so on, and the front seats that in my opinion they were not matching so much for looking like a racing car that I wanted to build up this way. The silver liner provided by this Molotov. This is a Molotov, even if it is marked like Schneider, it is a Molotov technology gloss silver, which fits absolutely perfect on the model, and it lasts also quite decently well. And that's it. I added, of course, the photo etched seat belts with bucklers and the 6-point metal bucklers for the seat belts, and that's it. Some cable for the interior. There is a full engine here, but I still didn't fix it in the proper way how to show it, you know, because the hinge down there is holding the front grille, so it's everything still fresh in the model, but I will provide pictures of what's inside. In the motor I added a lot of cable wiring, and let's see, maybe on the other side I can show something about that. There you go. I added all the sticker for the battery and carbon fiber air intake unit, a lot of cable from the sparkling, and on the head. And that's it. Now I miss just the final touch, and just waiting that the glue of the wheels takes his position in the stable position, and checking constantly that the stance. That's why I wanted to use this on a plastic PVC base, to have the constant, the real stance of the car constantly under my control. And that's it. I was waiting in the meanwhile the arrival from Alfa model of the Cayman GT4 RS, which unfortunately have been posted to a wrong address, so I cannot do that build right now, and I hope at least in the future that I can get the 296 GT3, which I'm hardly waiting right now. And for the moment I wanted to enjoy it so much because this is a car that I really like, and I think the appeal of an Alfa Corse vehicle is always interesting, and I hope also that you think the same, and also you will like this type of build. See you in the next one, and thanks for watching, guys.